Hey everyone, it's Yasmin Woodland and welcome back to my channel. I will be recapping Teen Mom OG Season 8, Episode 11. So it starts off with Cheyenne and her boyfriend Matt, and they went on this little mini vacation and they took Ryder along. So I feel like Cheyenne did this just to see how Matt would react to Ryder and see how he does with her. And oh my gosh, can I say this was like a disaster? Matt just did not know what to do. Ryder was such a handful. She had so much energy that Matt was just like, wow, like that was definitely a lot. So I felt so bad for him. It panned over to Tyler and Kate, and they were speaking to Kate's dad about a visitation with Carly. As we know, Carly is the baby that they did give away when they were on 16 and pregnant. So they do, I think, try to visit Carly or just try to have Carly visit them every so often. And they were just kind of talking about how the adoptive parents didn't really want, Tyler and Kate to talk about Carly, on Teen Mom, but they were just explaining like how can they not, because it's a part of them, that's their child, that's their story, and this is their platform. So I kind of see both sides of it, but they were definitely planning to have a visit with Carly in the upcoming 2 weeks. So it pans over to Mackenzie, and she did explain to the producers that she was actually training for a bikini competition. And as we all know, she has her own fitness company, and she does things like that, like fitness videos, and that's her bread and butter. I mean, she did state that she makes some income from that to support her family, so she takes that stuff like pretty seriously. So Mackenzie is always in the gym, she's always killing it, she's always doing these competitions, so that was actually pretty cool to see that side of her. It panned over to little old Amber sitting on the couch as usual, and she was explaining how she is not getting as much sleep as she normally should be getting. So as always, Andrew is there to comfort her, saying that it's not good for her mental health and that she should definitely focus on getting more sleep and getting healthier, and that maybe she should go, see her doctor just to get a follow-up on her therapy and just, stuff like that. And out of nowhere, everyone, Amber literally just like went psycho, and she ran over to like her back door and started like smashing on the window because the dogs were barking, and she said it was just like annoying her so bad. So I have not seen Amber like act like that. I'm just like, why are you so tense? And she just like looks at Andrew or the producers, and she's just like, yeah, those dogs barking is just like super intense and I cannot handle it. So I'm like, yikes, Amber, okay. It pans over to Macy and Taylor, and they are talking about different types of birth control options, and Taylor is just saying like if he gets a vasectomy, how he feels like he's just getting his nuts chopped off, and how he just feels like it just takes his entire manhood away, and that he just wants to definitely seek other options before he just goes along with that, because he does say that that is like a huge step for him. And Macy just does not want to be on birth control. She doesn't want to do any of that stuff because she said it affects her PCOS. So I thought it was so like comical how he was just like, I don't want to get my nuts chopped off. I'm just like, oh my goodness. It pans back over to Cheyenne and Matt, and they are at a like ostrich zoo or like some sort of like petting zoo, and they took along Ryder just to see if she'll calm down, just to see how she'll act. And afterwards they did go to this like wine tasting, and oh my goodness, you guys, Ryder was literally all over the place. I mean, running like everywhere. She was just so full of energy. Cheyenne couldn't do anything with her. Poor Matt, he tried so hard just to try to, subdue her and comfort her, but Ryder was just so full of energy. And I know that Matt was definitely overwhelmed, because as we all know, Matt doesn't have any kids, and Cheyenne, she knows how to deal with Ryder. So he was just explaining how it was just super hard just to try to manage, Ryder, because, as we all know, as kids, they're just bouncing all over the place and they have so much energy. So I don't know, you guys. I just definitely think he's not ready for a kid. So it pans back over to Macy and Taylor, and they are speaking to their doctor in regards to what options they have, because Macy doesn't want to have any more kids, but Taylor is on the fence about that, and they just couldn't really come to an agreement. But their doctor was pretty informative of like their options and like what they can do, and they said that going the route of Taylor is actually more easier than Macy getting her tubes tied. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So it pans over to Mackenzie, and she's super pissed at her husband because she had to go to the gym to work out and she could not get a hold of her husband for a long time. So she is just like fussing him out, like, you're acting ridiculous. Why didn't you call me? Why were you away from your phone for 5 hours? And that's like so dangerous to do. What if it was an emergency? And I don't know about you guys, but I was looking at the turkey bites. Like, those turkey bites are so good. Like, they looked so delicious the way she was like snacking on them. So, but anyways, I definitely agree that it's so dangerous to not even be by your phone when you know you have a wife and kids. I mean, come on now. He's definitely acting like a what, and she has every right to feel how she feels. And she said that she just feels like she doesn't want to be with him anymore if he continues to act like that, because she feels like he doesn't put his wife and kids as a priority, and that's something that is a necessity. Pans over to Matt and Cheyenne, and they are having dinner, and Cheyenne asks Matt, like, when does he want to have kids, like what age? And he literally says, like, maybe, I don't know, around like age 30. Like, I'm not too sure. I don't want to have them too young. I mean, we're still in our late 20s. I just kind of want to wait until our late 30s. And Cheyenne was not here for it. Cheyenne definitely didn't like that response. I mean, look at her face, everyone. Like, come on now. She looks like she's just plotting something super dangerous, because I don't know, like, her face is just ridiculous to me. She looks like she just wants to bite his head off, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, hopefully everything works out. I just feel like she's pressuring this guy so much. And she literally stated that when Ryder turns 2, she just wanted to have a baby. She didn't care who it was by. And Matt was just looking at her like, girl, you're crazy. Like, what are you talking about right now? Like, you're talking about nonsense. And I felt so bad for Matt. Like, look at his face. He's just like, oh my God, like, this girl is like literally psycho. So I don't know. I think she's rushing things. I think Cheyenne just needs to calm down just a little bit, just relax a little bit. It pans over to Amber and Andrew, and she is actually heading to her appointment to go see her therapist. And she's talking about how, she has all the support in the world, but she still kind of feels like alone and sad. She feels depressed, and, her disorders and stuff like that just takes over her, and she just feels sad all the time. And then she goes on to say how she wishes people perceived her as being dainty and feminine and stuff like that. And she's just trying to have this conversation with Andrew. So Andrew answers back, and he's just like, well, just be dainty then, do dainty things, maybe just be more feminine. I mean, I don't know. And the way Amber looked at Andrew was just ridiculous. Like, she looked like she wanted to deck him like right in the face. And she just like caught an entire attitude, everyone, over him just saying that. And I just cannot figure out why she's so triggered. I mean, she just, I don't know, she snapped literally for no reason. That car ride was just crazy. So it pans over to Mackenzie and Ron, and it was like literally like a few seconds. They were on vacation with the kids, and they said everything was going great and their relationship was going great and stuff like that. So nothing really interesting in regards to them. It pans back over to Macy and Taylor, and they had just gotten out of the appointment with their doctors, and they just really couldn't come to a middle ground on what they want in regards to children. And I really think they need to figure that out, because that's super important. So it pans back over to Mackenzie and her husband, and he just comes home or meets her, wherever, and he just gives her like this BS apology about how he should have, been by his phone and stuff like that, and he's sorry. And Mackenzie, being the person she is that wants to work it out so bad, she accepts his apology, and they just pretty much call it truce. It pans over to Amber, and Amber is sitting with her therapist, and she's explaining how she's just always like on edge, and that the moment she gets angry, she gets to a point of just being like super irate. And it's like a rage type anger that she feels, and that she just hates feeling that way and being that way, and that she just wants to change. Now, she also says that she just does not want to sabotage the relationship that she has with Andrew, because she loves Andrew, she loves their baby, she wants to eventually, get married and stuff like that. But she feels like her anger and rage is definitely causing, driving a wedge in that relationship. And I thought it was kind of crazy that she mentioned that, because as we all know, as of recently, because of this entire allegation against her, she kind of has ruined the relationship. So that is how it ended, everyone. She started crying and stuff like that, and I just hope Amber gets the help that she really needs, because Lord knows she does need it. But I'm sorry, everyone, I had to go back to that face. Like, I don't know, Cheyenne is like literally plotting something, everyone. I feel like she's plotting something. I feel like she just desperately wants to have a baby. I feel like she desperately wants to, get married. And she even mentioned at the dinner table that she just wants to have a baby by anyone and it doesn't matter. And it was just nonsense. So I had to show that face again, because she just looked like psycho for a minute. So what do you all think about this Teen Mom recap? What do you all think about this episode? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's Jasmine Woodland, everyone, and until next time, see ya.